So I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video on bait casting reels. I know a lot of people want to learn how to use them. I know a lot of people are interested in using them. You can see people cast accurately and with distance every single time once you get used to them. And honestly, it doesn't take that long. Maybe a few hours of practice in like your backyard with like a practice jig. Let's go ahead and switch over to the GoPro, and I'll kind of show you like a close-up. So let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, so first things first, every bait on a bait caster is different. What I mean by that is depending on what size bait you're throwing and what weight is gonna decide how you set your spool tension and your brake. That's the first things we're gonna talk about. Before you even try to cast a bait caster, what you need to do is tighten down your spool tension and turn your brake all the way to max. Make sure it's completely maxed out, because you always want to start at max. You never want to start at min. If you start at min, you're gonna get a rat's nest. What you want to do first is loosen your spool until your bait starts to free fall at an even speed. So right about maybe a little more. That's pretty good, but I like mine to fall a little faster. I think at that point it's personal preference, so I just kind of loosen it a little more. That's probably good for me. Yep. And then you just want to play with your brake until you figure out how far you can get it to cast while thumbing your spool. So start at 3/4 of the brake, and then slowly let off the brake in increments until you find out to where you can't control the spool anymore. So at 3/4, what you're going to want to do is hold the button with your thumb on the spool. Like click the button, leave your thumb on the spool, and don't let go. And you're just going to do a simple side cast. So you're just going to bring your arm to the side, and you're just going to cast. The key to a bait caster is feathering your thumb on the spool. What I mean by feather the spool with your thumb is you don't want, if you have too much pressure on the spool, it's not gonna go anywhere. So what you need to do is figure out where that sweet spot is of letting enough of your thumb off the spool, but not taking it completely off, so that you're able to stop it if you start to feel it backlash, because you'll feel the line start to pick up off the spool. The better you get at feathering your thumb on this spool, the less brake you have to use, and the further you're able to cast. So once you feel comfortable that you're not going to get a rat's nest on this heavy a brake, and you know you're confident in your ability to feather the spool, then back the brake off a little bit, you know? Go to maybe a little less than half this time. Cast it again, feather your thumb, and see if it goes further and doesn't rat's nest. And if it doesn't rat's nest, then you know your thumb's feathering ability is able to control this little amount of brake. The less amount of brake that you use, the less this spool is going to slow down when you cast it. Me personally, I never put it at min. I just always rat's nest it. My thumb just isn't able to control the rat's nest. You can feel it too. Like when you have your thumb just barely feathering the spool, you know when it's about to start to rat's nest. Like you can feel it kind of like, it's such a weird feeling, like the rope just kind of starts to come off the spool and you can feel it getting all loosey-goosey in there, and you know it's gonna rat's nest. So yeah, you can just keep loosening it. I usually keep mine about right there. So that's about a 1/4 brake, and I'm confident enough that I can keep it from rat's nesting on a 1/4 brake pretty easily, and I can get it pretty far. And then I know, because I've been using the bait caster for about a month now, I know when I need to just completely stop the spool myself to be able to stop it where I want it. If I want to hit that bank across from me, all I'm going to do is bring my arm back and Speaking of rat's nests, so if I want to hit that bank across from me, like directly across from me, all you want to do is smoothly just bring your arm completely back and just bring it smoothly back forward. You don't need to whip it, just one quick movement back and forward. And then when you think it's about to go too close to the bank, push your thumb down on the spool.
So I hope that helped you guys kind of understand how to use a bait caster better. It's just one of those things that you have to go out there and try. If you did enjoy this video though, remember to leave a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and let me know in the comment section below if you guys enjoyed these kind of educational videos to where I can like share my knowledge that I have with you. And I'll see you in the next video.